Decoding the future of AI. Welcome to AI Perspective. All right, buckle up, because the world of AI video just got a seismic shift. A new contender has emerged, and it's threatening to dethrone the reigning champions. Just released, Hailuo AI's newest flagship model, Hailuo 2, is here. And in this video, we're going to dive deep, really deep, into every single detail. Prepare to have your mind blown. They said the Earth was lost, that we were the last seeds of a dying world, sent into the long sleep. They gave us a mission. Revenge. Absolutely insane, right? That was all generated with Hailuo 2. This new model has absolutely climbed up the artificial analysis video arena leaderboard. For image to video, it's already in second place, surpassing models like Kling and VEO 3. Later in this video, we're going to put these models head-to-head in a prompt battle to truly see their strengths and weaknesses. But first, let's talk about something incredibly important for the majority of creators out there. Cost. For image to video, which is one of the most crucial modes, I'm going to compare the standard packages of these top competitors, which offer similar price ranges. So, the Hailuo 2 flagship model's standard package gives you 10,000 credits. For a 6-second 1080p video, it costs you just 80 credits. Now let's look at Kling 2 Master, Kling AI's flagship model. Its standard package offers 660 credits, and a 5-second 1080p video costs 100 credits. And finally, VEO 3. The lowest package you can purchase to use VEO 3 is Google's Pro package, which gives you 1,000 credits. A 5-second 720p video on VEO 3 costs 100 credits. It's important to note that here I'm comparing the flagship models, the most advanced versions from each company. And according to this breakdown, Hailuo 2 clearly gives you the lowest cost per second, or per video, for flagship model performance. That's a massive win for creators! So what exactly do I mean by flagship performance here? Let's look at the iterative improvement between Hailuo 1 and Hailuo 2. The leap in quality is truly astounding. First off, Hailuo 2 can now produce full 1080p videos, which look incredibly crisp. That higher resolution makes a huge difference in my tests. And in this particular shot, you can also observe that character consistency and the coherence of the face are much better with Hailuo 2. The face remains consistent throughout the shot, and doesn't just morph and change. In this specific prompt, I wanted her to shoot at a monster with a laser gun. I also asked for the camera to circle around her. For both models, the camera motion was superb and right on point. However, the subject's action, shooting the monster, didn't happen on the Hailuo 1 side. Overall, Hailuo 2's shots look much more dynamic, and I truly feel like the range of possibilities has just widened exponentially with this new version. It's a game changer! Accessing this new Hailuo 2 model is actually pretty easy. Let me show you right here. When you're on the homepage, on the left side, you'll see the video section. You'll also notice a new model label right there. When you click on it, you'll be directed straight to the video generation section. Here, underneath the main screen, you can see a drop-down menu for a list of models, and Hailuo 2 is right there at the top. All you need to do is select the new model, and from that point forward, you'll be generating with the new flagship model. Currently, Hailuo 2 allows you to generate either 768p or 1080p. You can choose between 6 seconds and 10 seconds for duration. Though for 1080p, you can currently only produce 6-second videos. Existing features are still here, which is great. For example, one of my favorite features, the camera movement presets, are still available and accessible with the new model. When you choose a preset like Freedom, it will automatically type the prompt for you. If you don't want to rely on cinematic presets, you can always go to Free Selection and design your own camera motion specifically. Or if you prefer the regular way, you can also just prompt it directly. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. Let's jump into the prompt battle. In this battle, we will rigorously test Hailuo 2, Kling 2.1 Master, and VEO 3. This is going to be an image-to-video comparison using the exact same prompts run on all platforms, and importantly, no re-rolls allowed. We're testing raw performance here. We'll be testing a variety of different things: dynamic scenes, complex subject movements, and overall prompt understanding. Let's kick things off with something relatively simple. First of all, we have a dynamic shot where she's riding a horse. And second, we want a camera motion that tracks her. Looking at the Hailuo result, it seems that we got everything we asked for. We have natural motion and movement of the horse riding. The camera tracks her perfectly, and the rest of the elements in the scene are all dynamic. Kling also did a good job here. We have very dynamic motion of horse riding. The motion looks quite natural, and the smoke coming out of these acidic legs looks really fantastic. The movement of her hair and the camera motion are superb. Jumping onto the VEO3 side, unfortunately, there's quite a lot of struggle here. This shot doesn't look dynamic and natural at all. There's definitely some problem with the horse's legs, almost like it's limping. The shot itself looks almost like slow motion. In this test, I think both Hailuo and Kling did really well, and VEO3 struggled quite a lot. In our next challenge, we have our main character. She's walking on a rope, and she's trying to walk in a balanced way. In this shot, Hailuo did really well. Her motion and steps on the rope look truly natural. It really looks like she's trying to walk with caution. It looks nice. And the movement of the rope and feet are very well rendered. Kling's shot looks like she's just climbing the stairs. She looks very confident. I cannot see what I saw on the Hailuo side, where you have this element of doubt or her trying to be in balance. It looks more like a straight-up climb, which takes away a little bit from how natural this shot looks. I think it's an okay job, but not the best. I actually wanted to show you the same shot on the VEO3 site, but VEO3 just refused to do that. They said their policies prohibit the uploading of prominent people at this time. I didn't upload any prominent person's image here. It just looks like a mistake with their moderation. Or their moderation system thinks this is a celebrity, but it's an AI-generated face. This highlights a limitation. Jumping into the next video, we want her to press a red big button, and then we have a camera motion. So it's both subject movement and camera movement again. And then we want the camera to pan and show two missiles shot from a spaceship hitting a planet. Here, Hailuo 2, like a very good student, followed closely what we asked for. She presses the button, and two missiles are launched from our spaceship, a very good, smooth shot. The camera pans right is also there, a natural moment. This whole shot looks fantastic! On the Kling side, we have the button press, but after that, we cut to a different context. We cannot see the camera pan, so camera motion is not here. It looks more like a jump cut. We cannot really see this natural flowing shot we saw on the Hailuo side. And VEO3 here, due to their moderation again, refused to generate this video. So I couldn't really show you the result. But I'm still sharing this so you are aware of the strengths and limitations of all platforms. Jumping into the next shot, we are trying to render anger here, and there's a complex motion of our subject. He looks up and he sees a small spaceship. We also have camera motion again, that the camera pans right and zooms in. On Hailuo's side, I like that in the initial frame, his eyes suddenly turned red, showing that he's angry, and it's very expressive. After that, he looks up, and the camera pans to see a small spaceship in the distant sky. This is exactly what we asked for. It would be perfect if he would just keep looking at the spaceship, but the shot itself, from a prompt understanding and dynamism perspective of complex subject movement, is very good. Looking at the Kling result, it seems to have struggled quite a lot. He doesn't really look angry. It looks more like he's almost laughing at 1 second. And we see the spaceship in the distant space, but he doesn't really look at it, so one big chunk of our prompt is completely ignored here. Looking at the VEO3 result, very similar to Hailuo, it started with his eyes just turning red, indicating the anger. A very smooth look at the spaceship. The camera pans right, and we don't have a zoom in, but the shot itself actually looks quite good. I'm actually happy with the VEO3 result here. I think it did everything right. Overall, I think both Hailuo and VEO3 did really well here, whereas Kling struggled quite a lot. In the next shot, we have the nemesis of all AI video generators, fighting with a katana sword. This is notoriously difficult for AI video models. It's hard to render katana swords, generally swords or people holding objects, and yet you're adding a fighting element on top of this. Starting with the Hailuo result, I think it did a really good job again. The hits look very natural. It looks like she's really hitting the robot with the katana. Morphing is super low, and with every hit, you can see that the robot is also reacting. Her motion and posture and how she's hitting are really fantastic. On Kling's side, morphing is really heavy here. Also, fires are coming out of the sword, and in the end, they both look like they're dancing a little bit. It doesn't look like a fight. The shot is completely unusable. Looking at VEO3's side, initially it struggled a lot, but in the second half of the shot, it actually turned out to be a usable one. If I were to put this into an AI film, I would cut the first part and use the second part. Unfortunately, not the whole shot is usable, because the beginning looks really chaotic and crazy. Jumping into the next challenge, we have a unicycle. She's cycling with this, and we want the camera to follow her. This is a very dynamic shot, so we're trying to understand the dynamic capabilities and coherence of our models.
Hailuo 2 is really natural looking. Nice unicycle riding. Camera is also following her.
It's a very dynamic shot and a natural looking shot. You can see that her face remains consistent throughout the shot until the very end when she turns her back to the camera. Of course, we can't see it anymore. But the whole unicycle action and dynamism looks simply fantastic. On Kling's side, you can see that actually her feet are not moving. The feet are supposed to move in a circular motion while riding this unicycle, but they're not moving at all. And in the second half of the shot, we see her face. She's basically a different person now, so we completely lost the coherence of her face. Camera motion is here, so the camera follows her dynamically. That's totally fine. But in comparison to Hailuo, this looks a little bit more random, I would say. Looking at VEO3, this time we have circular motion, but she's not actually moving forward. It almost looks like she's frozen there. She's not going forward with the unicycle. And therefore, since the subject motion is completely failed, the camera also can't follow the subject. It's an unusable, unnatural-looking shot. In the next shot, we have a mage. She's making magic and shooting a magic bolt, and she's very angry. It's really strong emotions here. Looking at the Hailuo 2 result, she really looks like angry, disgusted. Her face turns really bitter, and then you can see this clear shooting of the magic bolt, a very expressive, natural-looking shot. Kling's side initially looks very well. She also looks very angry, very expressive, and the emotion is rendered quite well here. Also shooting the energy beam. I like the magic bolt on Hailuo's side more, but this is a very acceptable result here. And on VEO3's side, unfortunately again, I was not able to produce a result due to heavy moderation. In the next shot, we have a wolf running really fast. And rendering 4 legs is always difficult for AI video models. It's always a good challenge. So, on Hailuo's side, we have a wolf running very fast, and the camera tracks him in high speed. A very good result, exactly what we asked for. On Kling's side, we have a much more chill run. The wolf doesn't really run fast here. It looks more like a high-speed walk, I would say. So I'm not super impressed with the result. The camera motion is here, so thumbs up for that. Kling does always good with following camera motion prompts. But the subject action, what we asked for, is not really reflected here. Looking at the VEO3 shot, it's similar to Kling. It's more like a chill running or a slightly higher speed walk. I cannot really get this very fast feeling from this shot. The camera motion is here, so no doubt or problem with that. But again, here Hailuo 2 did the best job. Our next shot is quite challenging. She's in a spaceship that we are slowly descending, and at the same time, I want the camera to slowly zoom into her face. It's quite a complex motion we are asking from these models. On Hailuo's side, we got exactly what we asked for. We are slowly descending towards clouds, and the camera is also zooming into her face. I would maybe prefer if the zoom would be directly to her face and not to the middle. But it looks like a small hiccup here, considering that it's a very difficult shot. Actually, we got everything we asked for. On Kling's side, we got the camera motion that we are slowly zooming into her face, but the spaceship is not really descending. I think Kling didn't understand that my subject here is inside a spaceship, and therefore we didn't get the descending move here. Similar problem with VEO3. So we have a slight zoom into her face. Her face looks very natural. It's a very nice shot, actually. I like it. But the descending is also not here. Again, it looks more like an airplane travel. My final thoughts on Hailuo's new flagship model, Hailuo 2. It's definitely a massive improvement in comparison to Hailuo 1. And as shown in this artificial arena comparison, it shows very strong performance against both Kling and VEO3. Of course, VEO3 provides a different workflow. You have text-to-video there and sound, which can be appealing for some people. But for image-to-video, I will rely on Hailuo 2. I think it's a fantastic model with a fantastic price range that I can afford. And with cool features coming in, like lip-syncing and more audio options, I think this model will be simply fantastic for my image-to-video needs. Hopefully this video was truly helpful for you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more in-depth tutorials.